Okay, and that moves us to, I got out of sync a little bit here. We are, another special report, item 10. This is the enrollment report. Back to you.
I feel like this is about the fifth enrollment report I've given, I think it is the fifth report I've given this year. But this one is our Beds Day report. And Beds doesn't have much meaning in the state anymore, but one thing it does stand for still is your official enrollment. So this is what will stand as our official enrollment for the year with the state. No dramatic changes from the opening of school, some minor changes, but nothing significant. Looks a lot like the ones we looked at before.
Okay, and again, the enrollment for kindergarten, 147, we're not concerned, it's significantly off from the demographer's projection, which was 166, but
Yeah.
we're,
You know, for the short term, we're not significantly concerned because it did not affect the number of sections that we needed to offer. If it had dropped to 120 or something, that would be an immediate concern because we'd have to delete a section. But as it is, the sections are still within our class size guidelines, so it's not an immediate concern. Where it becomes a concern is in our discussions later in the year when we look at the demographer's report and then start planning the budget, not even so much for next year, but long term. We had a dip like this a few years ago, and so the question is this the future or is it going to bounce back? The one a few years ago was just an inconvenient dip that is moving its way through the
it
district.
did right there in 5th grade now.
We'll find out what this one is.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments on the demographer? Okay, thank you very much.
It's not the demographer's report.
Not the demographer's report,
It's
enrollment.
No, this is the Beds
Beds-
report.
Beds
Which
report.
is basic education data system.
Yeah.
Our official numbers. Okay, and that moves us to item 11, unfinished business. Can I have a motion to adopt for a first read, policy 5150, school admissions, policy 5151, homeless children, policy 5420, student health services, and policy 6240, investments?
I'll move that.
Thanks. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, and anything you want to?
Busy policy committee.
Yeah, very busy. Jenna, anything you want to highlight on any of these?
I think that our investment policy, we really wanted to add some of Ray Wager's ideas about what we should put in there about maximum deposits. That was the impetus for changing the investment policy, and just really talking about maximum deposits in any one institution, which is important in our policy. Our homeless children's policy was significant because we didn't have one, and it's not only a required policy now, newly required, but also our civil rights data collection report was recommending that we have one. And the others are, the only other really significant one is student health services. Now that we have authorized medical providers, it was important to include language like that instead of a physician in the policy, and also to include specific things for children with asthma and children with diabetes regarding management plans and how we deal with medications in the schools. So,
Does anybody have comments?
I have a question. The student health services had a couple of inserts there, or as permitted by state law. And has there been a change in state law? One of us, you gotta, submit your physical within the last 12 months. It's gotta be done within the last 12 months. That, I thought, was, or is required by state law. Is there a flexibility there?
well, if state law should change and our policies do not change, we want state law to override whatever our policy is saying. So,
Okay. Okay, so it is 12 months, and it's just an override in case.
in case state
In
law
case-
is counter to what our policy is saying, we really
Okay.
need to abide by state law.
Just one quick question on the investments policy. It just looked like there was an addition, obligations of the U.S. government,
Yeah.
U.S. Treasury bills and notes, and then it was added, and other investment interests provided by law. Do you know what that language is in there for? I just didn't,
Yes.
I just didn't understand it.
Okay, where are you in it?
It's A.
This
Yeah.
investments?
A5,
A5,
U.S.
right.
Treasury bill, and other
Other
investment
investments, right.
interests provided by law.
Is that new? Is that new
Yeah.
in there?
Mhm.
I'd recommend dropping that. I'd want you to be very prescriptive in what you want in there.
Yeah, exactly, okay.
That
makes
kind of
sense.
opens it up to everything.
Right.
Okay, any other?
So we're gonna drop that off for the
Second read?
Yep. And these will all move over to, for a second read anyway before they're formally
Mhm.
passed, right? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so no other comments? Okay, then all in favor of these policies for our first read?